So this is a collaboration between KL Bok and myself, right? We worked together and we created this S-Spot Olympian Coaching Model. At first, we were deliberating whether we might call it G-Spot, but then we thought maybe Shanting is too sexy, right? So probably we cannot call it G-Spot Olympian Coaching Model. We end up calling S-Spot Olympian Coaching Model. So here, look at this, right? I want to explain to you this.
Is that
model.
An Australian joke?
I know it's Australian joke. Michael Chee can say that, right? Michael Chee, is this an Australian joke? No, it's not. Okay. So now, anyway, there is a formula here, right? Some engineers and technical people like formulas, right? Right? What is the Einstein formula? This is not an Einstein formula, okay? Look at this carefully, all right? You discover your defining moment. Actually, KL Bok wanted to be here today, but he had some urgent family concerns that are quite critical, so he had asked to be, excused. But later on, you will see him coming in to share, okay? So he and I created this model, and this was one of the first models he created on coaching. He's doing another one, by the way. This is not his only project, okay? So we did it together. So basically, when you look at this, right, you have a purposeful mindset. So do you know your purpose? What is your purpose and why are you here? Why are you alive? So that's purposeful mindset. A growth mindset is that looking ahead into the future, not only looking now, not only for current survival, but looking ahead. How are you going to grow? How are you going to develop? And then the urgency mindset is that, hey, there is no tomorrow, right? There's no tomorrow. We got to do it now, right? Got to do it now. There's no tomorrow, right? Just like what Steve Jobs would say, right? If this was the last day in my life, what would I be doing? There's no tomorrow. Got to do it now. So that is urgency mindset. So when you combine these three, it's super powerful. You find your sweet spot. And then from there, you begin to use that and then craft a compelling goal. But with a compelling goal, you're still not going to get there. You need the right habits to reach there, right? So with the habits, you keep doing it and it becomes easier. But just having the habits alone is not good enough to be there, right? Just imagine those people who have a coaching habit, they're coaching every day. But just imagine, what if they're coaching the same way every day? Asking the same questions, listening the same way, not improving. They are coaching every day. They have a coaching habit, but they're not improving. Are they going to go far? Answer is obviously no, right? So therefore, you need Olympian motivation. You need to have the motivation, daily dose, keep on doing better, and Olympian motivation and Olympian practice. Now, can any of you say, how would an Olympian practice rather than a normal person practice? How is that different? Francis? If you were an Olympian, how would you practice differently compared to a normal person who does the same practice every day?
Olympian will probably practice 8 hours a day. 12 hours a day.
Okay. Time more. Yeah. Okay. What else other than time, Francis? Other than more time, anything else? Would they do any other different way rather than just put in more time?
They learn from another Olympian.
There you go.
Sounds harder.
There you go. Push harder, work, learn from another Olympian. Right. What else?
They said RAM personal best, harder and higher every time. It's a weekly progress. The word is progress.
Okay.
Perhaps they should call Dr. Peter Chee.
Okay. Thank you for that. we have an Olympian here. I call him an Olympian because he is what we will call CEO, Master Coach Rick, who is the CEO of TRG International from Vietnam, and he's right here with us. Rick, can you just wave, say hello? There you go. Rick is here with us today. So now Rick is going to do with me Olympian S-Spot Olympian coaching, and it's going to be only 15 minutes. All right. So you're going to get a chance to see it. Now, let me just finish explaining this model. Rick, welcome. Say one or two words. Hello. How are you doing today? Show us your accent.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm warning you, Peter. I had my second vaccination yesterday, and the side effects are kicking in. So I'm only running at 75%. So your work is really cut out as Olympian coach. You've got to coach me back to 100 and then up to Olympian. So.
Oh, okay. So now you see, look at him. He is so smart. He's giving me a bigger challenge right now. So I'm going to coach him as S-Spot Olympian coaching. CEO, Master Coach Rick, who is the CEO of TRG International in Vietnam. All right. Very good. Thank you, Rick. So now, before we get into that, let me show you the next one, okay? It's in your handouts anyway, okay? There is a model, and this is the model, okay? So let me show you the model, and then let me do it, demonstrate, and see how it's going to be done, right? We would have KL Bok do it today, but he cannot make it. So I'm taking this on and I'm doing it because in the last session, he actually shared this model and he actually coached me. And I got amazing results by KL Bok, who is the Senior Vice President of Western Digital. He coached me and we developed the model together. Today, I'm going to coach Rick. All right, so you're going to see it. All right, it's going to be 15 minutes. Now, see here, there's a beautiful quote there up in front, right? Which says that where your life purpose, your vital growth and critical survival intersects, there your game-changing S-Spot, sweet spot can be found. Remember, not G-Spot, right? S-Spot, not G-Spot. Your game-changing sweet spot can be found, right? So it is the intersection where it overlaps. Right at the bottom, there's another quote there. And that relates to the other 4 circles that you can see in yellow, black, green, and red, right? The other 3 Olympian circles at the bottom. Having a compelling goal with the right habits and continuously improving on them leads to Olympian peak performance. So that's why we are here today with Coach CEO, Coach Rick, to Olympian performance. Look at him. He's moving. He's getting excited. He's getting ready. Look at him. Now, so it's a combination of all of these that puts all these colored rings together, from the blue color to the yellow to the black to the green and the red. All combined together is S-Spot Olympian Coaching Model. So first step is find the sweet spot. Then from there, move to compelling goal, right habits, motivation, and then Olympian practice. Now, this is the tool. Okay. So you have it in your handouts. I just put it out here, but I'm not going to go through all of these. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to do that coaching session demonstration. Now, at this point, I just confirm Miss Aaron is here with us. Now, Aaron is going to be capturing key points and actions. At the end, we will summarize and we will close within 15 minutes. So let's ask Coach CEO, Coach Rick, are you ready for S-Spot Olympian Coaching Model? Are you ready?
I'll be as ready as I'll ever be. So, firing gun at the ready.
All right. So the rest of you, stay on here. Just kind of like observe and take down what is your key learning. Because at the end, you can share and you can tell what did you observe, what's your key learning. All right. Wonderful. Just keep your microphones muted and accept Rick. So welcome, Rick. Thank you so much for taking on this opportunity, Rick. It's an honor to have you here, even after taking your vaccination shot. Thank you so much for your commitment.
Thank you for inviting me.
Right. So I'll set a timer here for us to start 15 minutes if we will, Rick. And I have only one intention, to add maximum value to you using S-Spot Olympian Coaching Model and tool. Yeah, Rick, shall we begin?
Okay, let's go for it.
Very good. So Rick, would you share with me your life's purpose?
My life purpose,
yes.
You should know, you helped me create it. Inspiring and transforming professionals for consistently higher achievement.
Wow, that sounds like second nature to you already, yeah, Rick? Tell me more a bit about that. What does that mean to you? Just elaborate slightly. How does that fit in your greatest passion, talent, your values, and your contribution? How does it all come in together in one beautiful statement like that?
It's all linked to just growing people and helping them to be successful. And growing people can be an individual or it can be teams. And I will do that through coaching, but through anything else that will achieve that purpose for them. So coaching plus plus.
Good. Can you tell us a little bit about what that plus plus is? If it's coaching and what else? If you plus another 2 more, how would that be? Like coaching plus?
Coaching, mentoring, if we're taking those 2 disciplines. But the style that I do is that hybrid sports coaching, or even deeper into my dungeon coaching. And it is about ensuring that people find their purpose and achieve their goals. So I'll do that through coaching, teaching, webinars, events, workshops, public speaking, with them individually, with their team, with their company, whatever it's going to take to get them to where they want to be.
All right. Great. So you have put that very clearly: coaching, mentoring, training, speaking, right? 3 main categories. That's where your passion, your strength really lies. Tell us about your greatest value. Where is that greatest value coming in? What do you value most?
What do I value most?
Yes.
In myself or in others?
Let's start with yourself first. What is your personal highest value, Rick, that shines out through this life purpose statement? Is it achievements or is it consistency? Where does that highest value come from in this life purpose statement that you're having?
It's all linked to lifelong learning. lifelong growth, acquiring more knowledge as fast as possible, being infinitely curious, and passing that knowledge on to other people so they can benefit as well.
Right. So it's like consistently improving and learning, right? And then the achievements is consistently going higher and higher. That's the output of it.
Absolutely. You've got to keep on running because, knowledge is, and the world is progressing so quickly. So whatever we know today is out of date in a year's time. So we've got to persistently keep on going and raising the bar.
Good. Now, Rick, if you were to look, let's say 5 years ahead, right? Depends on what you see as longer term, 3 years or 5 years into the future. What would you do now that will be so vital for your growth to reach to that stage 3 to 5 years down the road? What will be your vital growth?
My vital growth is to get significantly better at extracting this knowledge in my head and putting it into a medium where others can access it when they want and acquire that same knowledge.
Okay, I see that. So it's like how you can bring it to the critical mass, right? How you can somehow or other take it out and structure it, and then you automate it in such a way that at the end it becomes really scalable. Did I get where you're coming from?
Yeah, absolutely. Because at the end of the day, it's all very well. I am infinitely curious and I'm learning all this stuff and I'm enjoying it and I love it. But what's the point? How does that help anyone else? I have to get that out of my head, synthesize it all together, a bit like the models that you were talking about earlier. You're creating better models, like your situational coaching one, the Girder, that is an evolution of growth. So I see the same type of thing.
Okay, that's great. And I can see very, very clearly where that aligns with our life purpose, right? Because your life purpose statement is about consistently growing, developing people, right? So now you want to be able to do it on a bigger scale. So you need to extract it and structure it and then multiply on that. So there I see very clearly where you're talking about your vital growth. But shall we come now to your present, Rick, your present, where you stand right now, where you are currently right now? What are those top 3 things that are most critical for your current survival? Now, a lot of people these days are talking about survival, right? Even more so during COVID time, right? How do we survive through this, right? So, Rick, what are your top 3 things that you need to focus on now that is for critical survival?
Ooh, tough question. It's like, like spinning the plates in the air and just keeping them all spinning. So okay. I don't know, 3 is not enough. So it's run the business, run the existing business, keep it running, keep it growing, and move into what I'm calling extracting my knowledge and turn it into masterclasses and making that pivot from coaching one-on-one, which obviously has it's not scalable because I'm only one person, and stop selling my time and start selling my knowledge. And the only way to do that is to digitize it through some kind of masterclass.
Okay. I hear where you're coming. So again, you're going back into your vital growth, but current existing critical survival is existing business. Am I correct, Rick?
Existing.
Yeah. Go ahead, please. Yeah.
Yes, it's existing business. So it's our normal business, which are cloud solutions, fully managed cloud solutions. This is all on the technology side of the part of my knowledge, all the accounting, manufacturing, ERP, all that kind of knowledge that we put into our global solutions on private clouds that we have spattered around all over the world. Continuing to do that for the industry verticals that we focus on, which are mainly financial services and the hotels, which obviously has been pretty much decimated by the pandemic, but it's coming out of the pandemic in many parts of the world. So it's pivoting, and wherever it's opening up, we're trying to be there and make that work. So we're doing that, bringing in more disruptive technology, because people have realized that it's pandemic, we better go cloud, we can't get in the office. So we got a lot of disruptive e-commerce, a digital proof of shipment. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all in lockdown, haven't we? We've all had a lockdown, and you want to order something and like, when's it coming? Is it going to come? why can't I get immediate availability? So that's really decimated lots and lots of companies. We have some great solutions for that. So I'm trying to do that, and at the same time pivot to do all these masterclasses.
Okay. That sounds like a lot to do, right, Rick? I'm sure you keep yourself busy all the time. You're juggling many plates in the air, right? If I were to summarize this and get your confirmation very quickly, Rick, your critical survival currently in your existing business is about your cloud technology solutions. They are primarily focused towards hospitality and financial services. That is where your bread and butter, your survival is, right?
Correct.
Okay, good. So now then your vital growth is in something else that you're looking at, right? Which is extracting all that knowledge, extracting all that thing that you spend time on one-on-one, and you want to be able to automate that and bring it to the masses, right? Okay. Now let's look at your sweet spot right now, Rick. If a sweet spot is where you talk about where the intersection, that overlap, which is one thing that you do, and that one thing that you will do will take care of your existing business, right? Whilst at the same time will get you to that vital growth, that goal that you want to achieve within 3 years. That both in the same task that you do will address both. How does that look like, Rick?
It looks good.
Sure. It looks good. Can you describe to me how that looks like? Describe to me how that looks like.
Okay. It's something that I started on actually 4 years ago, but it's taken me 4 years, which is a horrible number to admit to, which is to take all my technical and accounting knowledge and convert that into masterclasses. And we've just launched those online universities literally last month. Well, this month is September. However, it took 4 years, and I can't spend 4 years taking my non-accounting, my other skill sets. That's too long. I got to do that in less than 6 months.
Tell me about the other skill sets, please. Elaborate slightly. Apart from accounting, what are the other skill sets?
People might traditionally call them soft skills. I call them human skills. We're constantly training people. We've always trained people. Whether it's on time management, whether it's on listening skills or presentation skills or coaching skills, you name it, we've probably done it. Okay, motivation, whatever, we've done it all, and we're doing it all the time, and we're just going to convert all of that knowledge into masterclasses. Okay, because it's a fantastic cross sell from what we've already done on the technology side. Okay, and given that I'm usually dealing with accountants and techie people. I'm an accountant myself. We might be a bit challenged when it comes to social interaction, I suppose. So we have a load of training to help all of those people survive in the world today.
Okay. All right, Rick. I hear where you're coming from. So if you were to aim towards doing that all within 6 months, all those human skills and all those things converted to masterclass, put it into your online university or academy, automate all of that, and to take it masses, right, to the masses in a massive scale, right? How would you do that and synergize that with your existing business to ensure that it comes together as one? How do you synergize that, Rick?
Good question.
Yeah.
Well, we'll use the same technical platforms. I have teams that are working on this, but as I said, that knowledge transfer and creation is just too slow. So I'm going to have to get some outside help, find some real world-class people who can really help with this. Okay. Okay. So
outsourcing is one of them. Okay.
Outsource is one of them, but it's not getting to do the work. It's having them be my coach as well. All right. So a lot of this human skills stuff is all related to the second book that is coming out in November. So I have a book coach for that, who is constantly cajoling me and kicking my ass. They're helping me with one of my master class creations, and that's due tomorrow. So I'll be up late fixing that. Then I found another organization that can help build a lot of the other ones and put some of the sales and marketing together for that as well, because this is a new way of selling to a different type of audience. we know our accounting and technical audience and our hospitality. We know that really, really well. But when we shift to this other domain, I'm less confident. Okay. And if I just do it the way I did it before, it won't work. So I need some additional coaches and some additional accountability buddies to make sure that we're on track and making it work.
All right. Good. Point taken, Rick. So now back to your forte, right? Your current critical survival, hospitality, financial solutions, cloud technology solutions, right? So now you are bringing in the next 6 months. You said you have already brought in all your accounting knowledge and things like that. It took you 4 years. The next 6 months, you want to do that, these human skills. How will that bring you quick, immediate business with your existing customers in hospitality and financial services? So right, these comes together and then it will address your critical survival as well. How would you do that?
Cross-sell, immediate cross-sell. So we are ready. We have 2 routes to market. One is with our big global customers who are taking all our training. They absolutely love it. They've actually, most of them have mandated it already, and we only launched not even a month ago. So that's going really, really well. And we've mentioned that we have these other things which we haven't created yet, and they're super interested because, well, if that works, we'll mandate that as well, and you can fix all of those problems as well. So that's just an incremental sell to them. And then the other thing is the disruptive thing is on those solutions that we sell is we're going to sell it to people who are not our customers. Okay. So yes, we're pretty big in what we do, but there's still tens of thousands of customers who aren't our customers. They're someone else's customer, but we have such a disruptive product. They might try it, and that will open up a whole new universe for us to cross-sell into.
So that sounds like another, exponential growth paradigm already, but that's further into the future, right? That you can foresee. But you have said you are less confident in that. You are more confident in where you are right now, right? So again, the key right now, that sweet spot is that cross-sell, right, Rick?
Cross-sell,
you have a market, you have the customers, it's critical business survival, and you want to develop something that will bring you far into the future to multiply growth of your business, but you can also take care of your short-term critical business results. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So now, Rick, what would that goal look like? Let's start with, let's say, 3 years down the road. If you talk about what you were just saying, right? Automate all of these, extract the knowledge, put it into masterclass, take on the global market. What would the most compelling goal look like 3 years down the road, Rick?
3 years down the road?
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay. 3 years down the road, a very compelling goal would be for these new business channels to be significantly larger than our existing business channels.
Okay. Put a percentage, Rick. How many percent? When you say significant, I won't ask you for exact financial numbers, but at least you give a percentage. When you say significantly larger, how many percent? When you look at the ratio, what's the percentage?
At the low end, at least 200%.
Okay.
At the high end, 500.
Okay. All right. Would you be ambitious to go for the high end, or would you stick to the low end? If you had a choice,
the high
end, so 500%, right? So 500%, the current business you have and what you're building for the future, taking care of critical survival and future, is going to multiply the growth of your business from your existing business to a 500% level. Did I get it right? Okay, good.
The vision is it's going to be so good that we won't need our existing business. Okay. So you know what it's like. Hey, we're desperate for the business for what we're doing, and you're flogging it to death. And then the moment you're not worried about it anymore because something else is soaring, then your existing business is probably going to take off anyway.
All right, good. So 500%, 3 years. If you were to break it down to milestones and something for you to get into a sense of urgency and implement it right now, next 6 months to 12 months, how would that look like? How would that goal look like? 6 to 12 months. 6 months first, 12 months, and then break it down to 6 months, Rick.
Business-wise?
Yes, because you said 500%, right? 3 years, right? You're a bean counter, so tell me, bean counter. So 12 months, what is the number you're looking at? And then 6 months, yeah.
Within 12 months, it needs to be because we're coming from zero, it needs to be in the region 40 to 50% of existing business.
Okay, good. 50% and 6 months? Because 6 months, you're going to be creating all of this, right? Are you able to see are you expecting to see visible results in 6 months? And how many percent do you think would be a challenge, would be a worthwhile challenge and something you think you can stretch and is doable? 6 months.
It's going to take up to 6 months to create the masterclasses and having them out there. And by the time this book is launched, it's November, December. That's going to kick in. It'll impact January, February.
Okay.
There's potentially another book coming out.
Right. So I see where you're coming. Yeah. I see where you're coming from.
It's going to push it. So
for 6 months, Rick, do I take it 6 months is more of completing the development and creation of the content and masterclass, including your book? So that will be 6 months. But 12 months, you're looking at 50% growth, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
once it's there, once the sausage machine is there, it just runs.
Yeah, you keep on turning out the pizzas or the sausages, right? Okay, good, good. I like that. Okay. So, Rick, to achieve this goal, what will be the one habit that you need to change that's most important? One habit you need to change to achieve this goal. What is that one habit?
Stop selling my time.
Stop what? Say again?
Stop selling my time.
Okay. Tell me more about that.
Traditionally in our business, we sell by the hour, we sell by the day. I've got to stop doing that for me. Okay. And because I'm not selling time, I'm selling knowledge.
Okay. Good.
Okay.
Good. So how would that look like? How would that look like? Stop selling time, selling knowledge. How would that different way of selling look like? How would you sell? How would you sell differently?
That's why I'm forcing myself to package it up into masterclasses. I have to do that.
Okay.
All right.
So selling IPs, right? Instead of selling time, you're selling intellectual properties.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Because that's scalable. My time is not scalable. I've got to stop doing it.
Good. I think that's a good insight, Rick. I think we've got about 2 or 3 more minutes. We will wrap up. We will move to our next activity. So let me ask you here, what would keep your motivation high every day? What will keep you pumped up? You know you need to make this change, right? You're spending a lot of your time and you're getting time for your money, but right now you want to change that and multiply. You want to change the game. What will keep your motivation every day? High level, pumped up Olympian motivation. What would you need to do differently?
One of them is going to be on the pain side. Okay.
Okay.
And that's why I'm looking to outsource some of this and put them on a revenue share.
Okay.
So they'll be constantly kicking me to get a move on. Otherwise, they're not going to get much out of it.
All right. Good. I think that's a good strategy.
That's really, really important.
That's a pain side. Is there a pleasure side to it, Rick?
The pleasure side to it is if I start hitting that 50% increase in business, 100% and more, then I know and I'm selling knowledge and no longer selling time.
Yeah.
To me, is I'm going to be reducing my working day to ideally less than 10 hours a day.
All right, good. Rick, I hear where you're coming from, but that's future pleasure, right? It's like 12 months down the road, 50%, right? Yeah. So how are you going to keep your eye on that vision, on that ball every day? Is you're playing that game to reach that Olympian standard. How are you going to keep your eye on that ball every day? Because this is 12 months down the road, right? You could be easily distracted by something else, right? So how do you keep the pleasure? Yeah, the pain is there. I hear what you're saying. You put in the outsource, you share the revenue, and they're going to keep pushing you, right? You got to deliver. So,
no, but it's also generating this knowledge, transferring this knowledge. I get a lot of fun out of that. Seeing the courses being created, doing the recordings. I mean, so we just launched this month. This year we've recorded more than 1,000 videos. Okay,
great. So you enjoy the IP. You enjoy the IP creation process. You're enjoying it. That itself is a reward for you.
Yeah, that's fun. That's fun.
So now tell me, how would you every day, if you do the IP creation process, how would you do it better each day? So the next morning you wake up, you can say, hey, I'm Rick, I'm jumping out of bed. Today I'm going to do IP creation better than I did yesterday. Tell me, how is your Olympian deliberate practice going to be like every day? This is going to be our final and then we will close. Yeah, Rick? Yeah.
It is about move ahead on course outlines and doing deliverables. I do like the recording of all the scripts. So when the lockdown ends, hopefully next month, is going back into the office, going back effectively into the studio, getting up there and lights, camera, action. That is very, very stimulating.
Sure.
And just having that regular schedule.
Sure. So how would you ensure that every day lights, camera, action, that you will up your game every day, that you can improve, you keep getting better? What is the one thing you can do to ensure that you keep getting better every day? If you want to be Olympian, world class, number one, what would you do differently?
I probably wouldn't do it every day. Probably do it 2 days a week.
Okay, good. So let's go 2 days a week. How do you know that 2 days a week, each time you're doing, you're getting better?
I can see in my delivery the number of retakes that I have to do.
Okay, so retakes is one. What else?
And the speed at which we can do them. Again, it's linked to retakes. I don't want to fluff it 5 times. It's straight out of the box. It's done. One take.
So what is more important, Rick? Speed or quality?
Quality is the most important.
Good. So how would you ensure that you keep improving the quality?
Improving of quality is, I guess, making sure I do it at the right time of day. I have more energy at certain times of day.
Okay.
I don't have any meetings prior to the recording.
Okay.
Because I found out if I've been speaking for 3 hours, my voice is going and it's not going to record very well.
All right. So let's shoot for 3 main things here, Rick. 3 main tactics will get you improving or each time you do it. One is the right time of the day. What will be the second and third one?
Right time of day. The next one is I've identified a voice coach.
Okay.
To help strengthen my voice.
Good. What will be a third one?
And probably the third one is look at a better video team. Okay. Who has more experience in this to lift our game, because we've got it to a certain level, but it needs to go higher.
Very good. Well done, Rick. Let's give him a big hand. Woo-hoo! So you've been through the process now. Let's do a really quick 1 or 2 minute debrief. And then we're going to move over to Coach Robbie. We have a CEO Master Coach Robbie. He's going to share with us his coaching model and tools. Look at that, Rick. This is just a share screen from Aaron. Thank you so much, Aaron. Let's give a big hand to Aaron as well. He has captured for you the 3 points, your sweet spot, your top 3 critical survival. Let's scroll down, Aaron. You got his action steps there too, right? Yes, 3 years later, your goal, your habit change, your improvements, the 3 things, the right time of the day, identify and tap on a voice coach, and then leverage on better video team. Rick, how is the coaching session today? It lasted more than 15 minutes. I guess it's about 20 or more. How did it go for you, Rick?
It's tiring. I'm exhausted.
But you did it, right? In spite of vaccination, you did it, right? Yeah, very good. Thank you all so much. Now, I'm going to ask all of you later to share your key learnings and observations. We probably won't have time to do it right now because I think we overrun our time by about 8 minutes. So now it's time for 10 minutes for Coach Robbie to share. Thank you so much, Coach Rick. Really loved having you here. Please feel free to stay on. We have something more exciting coming up next, and we probably will wrap up around 10:05. Okay, if it's okay with everyone, we'll probably exceed our time for about 5 or 10 minutes. It's just so amazingly exciting. Thank you all, everyone. Thank you all, everyone. Thank you, Coach Rick. Please feel free to stay on. Now I
want to see Coach Robbie. I want to see Master Coach Robbie.
All right,
my old partner.
Now, okay. So,
hi, Coach Rick.
Chief Master Coach, right? Chief Master Coach, CEO Coach Robbie is from Indonesia, Jakarta, Man of the Year who won the award. So we asked him to share with us his coaching